Hey everybody, this is Tricrow, and in today's video I want to explain how the TSplit or multi-client glitch for Darkest Dungeon speedrunning works. Essentially, the glitch has been found at the beginning of 2020, and we since have found like 3 main uses for it. But first things first. So naturally, if you want to launch multiple clients through Steam, it will not let you. So what we need first is to launch the no Steam version of Darkest Dungeon, which is conveniently also placed in the main installation folder of Darkest Dungeon. So navigate there, go to Windows No Steam and use this application or run this application as many times as you want essentially, but for the purpose of speedrunning we will need 2 instances of the game. Okay, so the first use we have for this glitch is essentially duplicating quest or mission rewards, trinkets, as well as keeping the experience of a mission, but being able to repeat it over and over again without actually doing the mission. So the setup is quite specific for this, so do it as I show you. Alright, so the first client, or like one of the clients, you will need to be at the end of a finished mission. For the purpose of showing, I just took the old road here. So when you're, oh, we need the sound. So when you completed the quest, you actually stay in the mission. Well, then you switch over to the second client and watch the intro cinematic, or like start watching the intro cinematic. Then you cancel out of that. This will update the save file, which the game uses, and you essentially just load in. And as you can see in a second here, we are just at the same spot as the first client. So on the second client, or you could do it on the first as well, on one of the clients then you actually quit out to the hamlet, and then you can do whatever you want at the hamlet. Let's upgrade the stagecoach. Let's bring in some new heroes. Then back to the first client. You want to leave the room you're in and re-enter it. And then on the second client, you want to bring up the trinket inventory. Click unequip all trinkets, and yes. Then you quit out to the main menu. And when we now load back in, we are actually not in the hamlet. We're back at the old road. We can return again to the hamlet. And as you can see, they already were level 1, so they kept the experience. And we
share with you the terrible wonders.
We also kept our town upgrade, as well as heirlooms and money. So this is the specific setup for the first use, where we essentially, as you just saw, duplicated mission rewards, etc. A little thing to add here is what you can do is if you want to level any hero on your roster who is not in the mission initially, you can just come over here on this client and put in whatever people you want. Then switch rooms again on the other client, unequip trinkets, and reload. And as you will see in a second, on the mission reward screen where it shows the experience, oh, look at that. The Plague Doctor and the Vestal also did get some experience, even though they didn't take part in the mission really. So you can level any hero on your roster with this as well. A little thing to add maybe is if you take your time when performing this trick. So you can, if you want, you can leave the room on the second or on the first client before entering it and unequipping the trinkets on the second client. But when you re-enter the room, I usually wait until this little banner in the top left shows up again. Because if you're too quick, it will actually override your hero statuses. So the heroes will be back to level 1 if you're not careful. But yeah, just try it, get comfortable with it, with the timing. It's not hard. Better wait a second longer than being too quick and botched up. Okay, the second use for the multi-client glitch, or another aspect we can use, is something we just call building upgrade glitch, which essentially is you load both clients into the Hamlet on the same save file, and then you spend your heirlooms on one client for, oh, I don't know, let's do the guild upgrade. And if you want to get those heirlooms and money back, oh yeah, let's just upgrade abilities, spend some money. So if we want this back, we essentially do the changes we want on one client, then starting with this client, unequip all trinkets, go to the other client, unequip all trinkets, go back to the first client and reload. And just with that, we got our heirlooms back, we got the money back, but we kept the upgrades on everybody and on the buildings. So that can help, especially in the any percent or even longer categories. All right. Okay, and last but by no means least, we got the ability to actually heal our characters, or like reset their status to what it is in the Hamlet. I actually didn't have a save file where I could show it off, so I'm just using one of Tricrow's runs here as an example. So as you can see, his party on the left is, yeah, pretty much done here, and the setup is that you have the second client, you can see it down here, sitting in the Hamlet, have everybody on the party in the same order as you have it in the mission. And then you need to unequip all trinkets while it is the enemy's turn, and then you have to quit out on the first client during the enemy's turn and reload. So depends on the enemy's speed of the attack and stuff. You have to be very quick to actually do it. It will. I'll let the video run and you'll see.
Actually, just killing that guy is sufficient. I think I'm actually gonna reset through that. To put us back to standard health, etc. Okay.
And there you go. His party is back to full health, no stress. Granted, you do lose all buffs or virtues, whatever, but it means that if you want, you can skip using a healer with this. So there you go. That's the uses that we have so far for this glitch. Okay, and for the last bit, a little bit of explanation to how it actually works, or at least I would say how we think that this actually works. We think the save file is divided into multiple parts, which of one is the hamlet and all your buildings and heirlooms and whatever you have. Another part is the active mission, or like the location where you are in the save file, if you're in the hamlet or if you're in a mission. And at least the third part is the roster. So all your heroes with their levels and abilities and stuff. And so for the first use of the TSplit, leveling, duplication and stuff, we essentially trigger a resave from on the active mission client by entering or leaving and re-entering a room, which sets the save state to, oh, he's in an active mission. But through unequipping all trinkets on the other client, we save essentially the whole hamlet part, which consists of all the upgrades and heroes and stuff. We overwrite this on the save file by unequipping all trinkets. So when we then reload the first client, it basically loads in with the mission, which is at the end of the mission, but draws its values for heroes and stuff from the hamlet part. So by resaving the hamlet part, we actually keep the gold and heirlooms and experience and stuff. Yeah. On the second one, it's basically tricking the client into, or like setting the values, so you keep the upgrades but reload the values from heirlooms and stuff from before the upgrades. And yeah, and the healing glitch essentially is setting the health and stress values of your heroes back to what they are in the hamlet. So yeah, that's basically as much as we know right now. There might be uses coming up in the future for this, or other possibilities where we find the use for it. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys soon.